Jamestown College President Bob Badal announced the strategic plan of the college, which includes marketing and branding, enrollment, and increasing student retention. With JC increasing to a school that offers a doctoral program, international programs, and an online degree program, President Badal said there might be a name change to university in the near future. Good evening, I'm Courtney Oliver.
And I'm Matthew Nies. Welcome to the James River Valley Reports. The master plan of Jamestown College was revealed to the Student Senate, including a new sporting arena, a new football practice area, renovations of campus buildings, and off-campus housing development. The arena is in high priority according to Vice President of Planning and Administration Tom Heck. It would house basketball and volleyball and provide more locker and training rooms. It would cost between $10 and $15 million. Hollywood writer, producer, actor, and comedian Brian Posehn stopped in Fargo on Friday to meet his fans and talk about a new job added to his resume, comic book author. JCTV's 16's Courtney Oliver caught up with the funny man.
Paradox Cards and Comics is a small shop, but has recently housed some big talent, literally. Brian Posehn is 6 feet, 6 inches tall and has starred in shows like Seinfeld and Just Shoot Me. Currently, he's working on a project for Marvel Comics.
So this is our first time messing around in the Marvel universe, and being a huge comic book nerd my whole life, like, it's a crazy dream that I never thought would happen, that I'd be able to write for Marvel. Like, the first time I got a check that said Marvel on it, it was like surreal, you know. I've been doing comedy a long time and done a lot of cool things, but to write for that company is one of the coolest things I've done.
Brian and his team are revamping the story of Deadpool, a wisecracking assassin for hire, loosely associated with Wolverine of the X-Men. It comes from a new line of comics called Marvel Now. Deadpool is a perfect fit for the comedian because he's not as serious as others in the Marvel collection. Brian says if something makes him laugh, it goes into the comics.
I mean, the same kind of things make me laugh that I think make Deadpool readers, whether you're 15 years old or in your 40s like I am.
Fans younger than 15 and older than 40 stood in line for hours waiting for their chance to meet the author of their favorite comic. This is the first opportunity they have had to meet a creator of such caliber. Owner of the store, Richard Early, was thrilled to have a big crowd.
Had no idea what to expect. Absolutely blown away by the turnout.
If Brian decides to visit Fargo again, it could be on the coattails of a newly written comic book. Batman, maybe?
I'd love to. Batman, I don't know. Batman, really him, nobody wants to see him farting. Or maybe you do. I don't know.
In Fargo, Courtney Oliver, JCTV 16. The father accused of killing his 3 young daughters at the girl's Western Wisconsin home is back in court today. One of the issues expected to be addressed at a hearing for Aaron Schaffhausen is a videotaped police interrogation and what jurors will be able to see from the 3.5-hour interview. The 35-year-old Minot native is accused of killing 5-year-old Cecilia, 8-year-old Sophia, and 11-year-old Amara at their home in River Falls last July. When we come back, Jessica Gulseth is in with weather.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig. NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
North Dakota House Democrats chose a new minority leader today. Kenton Onstad will replace Jerry Kelsch as he decided to stand down from the post. Onstad was elected as a floor leader without opposition for the 2013 session. The choice came just before the legislature began a 3-day session for organizational work. Lawmakers begin their regular session January 8th. 2012 will be the 5th year the United States Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program is in Jamestown. The idea is that community members drop off new, unwrapped toys before Christmas, and they are distributed to local children who may not get any presents otherwise. 145 children from 60 families have signed up for the program this year. Last year, Toys for Tots in Jamestown distributed 1,381 toys and 398 books to 81 families and 198 children. 5 states announced today they will add at least 300 hours of learning time to the calendar in some schools starting in 2013. Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and Tennessee will take part in the initiative, which is hoped to boost student achievement and make United States schools more competitive on a global level. The 3-year pilot program will affect almost 20,000 students in 40 schools. A mix of federal, state, and district funds will cover the costs. United States and Allied intelligence have detected Syrian movement of chemical weapons components, according to a U.S. defense official. President Barack Obama declared that Syrian action on chemical weapons is a red line for the United States that would prompt action. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Syria would not use chemical weapons against its own people. According to published sources, Syria has never confirmed it has any chemical weapons. Well, now with us is Jessica Gulseth with the weather. And Jessica, it looked pretty nice outside today, albeit it was a little windy. What does the rest of the week look like?
Well, today was fairly warm, almost 50 degrees, but today is the only day that will be like that this week. Tonight, we move on to partly cloudy skies with a low around 23 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with wind gusts as high as 13 miles per hour, and a bit of a drop in temperature with a high of 26 for most of the day. Tomorrow night, a low around 18. Wednesday, a little warm up in the forecast with a high of 37 degrees with some wind gusts, possibly as high as 21 miles per hour, and an overnight low of only 27 degrees. Thursday, again in the mid to upper 30s during the day, dropping down to a low of 15 degrees for the night. Friday, partly sunny and rather cold, a high of only 22 with a low of 10. Saturday and Sunday, we might finally see typical weather for this time of year. There is a 20 to 30% chance of snow for both Saturday and Sunday, with highs in the mid-20s. A bit windy and some snow for the week, but overall, pretty good.
And it seems like it gets colder as the week goes on, so maybe bundle up for the weekend?
I would suggest it.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica, with the weather. Now, when we come back, Josh Knutson has a sports update, and Courtney Oliver has some information on an expecting royal family.
In 1977, in Johannesburg, South Africa, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. By the age of 9, he was already outplaying him. The odds of this gentle lad winning the Junior World Golf Championships at the age of 14, 1 in 16 million. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the Open Championship once and the US Open Championship twice, 1 in 780 million. The odds of this professional golfer having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes. And stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit weather.com/ready and let the Weather Channel help you prepare your family for emergencies.
Now here with sports is Josh Knutson. Josh, it's a sad day in Kansas City over the weekend.
It's a sad day everywhere as a lot of people are, feeling the effects of this suicide. And it is a sad day as the NFL deals with the aftermath of Javon Belcher's suicide on Saturday. Belcher was a Kansas City Chiefs linebacker who had been a real success story for the organization. Belcher played in every game for the Kansas City Chiefs since 2009, first as a special teams player and later as a starting linebacker. But on Saturday, all of his success ended. Belcher first murdered his girlfriend in her home and then took his own life outside of the Chiefs' practice facility about 20 minutes later, according to the Kansas City Police Department. Darren Sharp.
We got a call here at Arrowhead Stadium to their practice facility in regard to a person who was in the parking lot armed with a handgun. When the officers arrived, when they were pulling up, they actually observed a black male who had a gun to his head, and he was talking to a couple of coaches out in the parking lot. As officers pulled up and began to park, that's when they heard the gunshot, and it appears the individual took his own life.
Several team personnel witnessed his death, including head coach Romeo Crennel. Despite all of the sadness, the Chiefs rallied to beat the Carolina Panthers on Sunday, 27-21. The Jimmy's men's basketball squad nearly pulled off an upset over the 7th-ranked William Penn Friday evening at the Jamestown Civic Center. The Jimmies were defeated by the Statesmen 78-75 after a second-half rally by Jamestown College erased a 10-point deficit. The Jimmies led by 3 points late in the game before foul trouble and 2 key turnovers turned the tables into the favor of the Statesmen. With the Jimmies up by 1 point in the game, freshman guard Aaron Steeman found himself trapped in a corner and made a costly pass that was picked off by the Statesmen. Guard Taylor Stoutner, who laid in the go-ahead basket. Mark Hogue led the Jimmies with 29 points, followed by Taylor Newton with 16 points. The Jimmies fall to 6-6 after the loss. And the Jimmies already have qualified an athlete for the NAIA National Track Meet after the first meet of the season. Freshman Katie Blaze won the Midland Half Marathon in Fremont, Nebraska on Saturday and qualified for the full NAIA Marathon in May of 2013. Blaze ran a 1:31.06 to finish first out of 14 women. Her time barely missed the auto-qualifying time of 1:31 flat. However, the first 5 women to finish before 1:33 qualified by provisional time. Tomorrow, the JV men's and women's basketball team will be playing Concordia at 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. On Friday, the JV women will be back at it as they play Dakota College at the BSC Classic. Saturday will be a Jimmy-filled sports day. At 2 p.m., the JV women will again be playing at BSC. The varsity men and women's basketball teams will be playing Dickinson State at 4 and 6 p.m. at the Civic Center. The JV men will be wrestling at the Husky Opener, and the women's varsity wrestling team will be competing at the Waldorf Duels, while the men's varsity team will be at the Waldorf Southwest Minnesota State Duels. And that's it for sports, Courtney.
Well, thanks for the update, Josh. And before we go, we leave you with this breaking news story. A stork has been spotted over Kensington Palace this weekend. His Royal Highness Prince William and his wife Kate are expecting their first child. The pregnancy is very early in the stages as the Duchess of Cambridge has not yet reached the 12-week mark. William is second in line to the throne after his father, Prince Charles, so the child would replace William's brother Harry in the line of succession. And that's the James River Valley Report for this Monday, December 3rd. For Matthew Nies, Jessica Gulseth, and Josh Knutson, I'm Courtney Oliver. Thanks for joining us. Good night.